guys, and welcome to another in-depth review on NET Auto Reviews. My name is Tyler, and today we'll be looking at this 2015 BMW M3. Before we get started, I'd like to give a big thanks out to Hoffman BMW in Watertown, Connecticut for allowing me to film the car in today's review. If you are interested in purchasing any new BMW, give them a call, check out their inventory online, or stop by. All their contact information will be in the description box below. So before we get started with the review, I'd like to thank a few people who have really given me a lot of help along the way. Be sure to check out all these guys on YouTube. The first one is Mike's Car Info. He helped me out a lot with starting up my channel. Throttle Candy does a lot of cool videos with supercars, and Liam Lexus Build. He has a pretty cool Lexus that he built up and stuff, so make sure you check out their channels as well. So the color of this M3 is called Yas Marina Blue Metallic, and the M3 is only available in rear-wheel drive. Now you can get a coupe version, and it's called the M4. Okay, so let's go ahead and start getting in depth with the front here, starting with the headlights. They are LED headlights for both your low and high beams. You also have your M front bumper here, which looks absolutely amazing. You also have your blacked out kidney grille. You also do have your headlight washers and parking sensors that go all the way around the bumper. So down here you have these great looking two-tone alloy wheels, and they are 19-inch. You see in here you have your ventilated disc brakes, and they are drilled. 4 pistons as well. So coming down the side, your wheelbase stands at 110.7 inches. And you have these really gorgeous mirrors. So back here you have a bunch of carbon fiber going on. You have your carbon fiber rear spoiler here, which looks great. Also up here you have the carbon fiber roof, and your antenna is up there. So we have our tail lamps back here, as well as our parking sensors that go all the way across the bumper again, and our quad exhaust tips. Under here we also do have a parking camera, and our blacked out M3 logo is looking awesome. So now let's go ahead and take a look under the hood. So taking a look under the hood, you have a 3-liter twin-turbo inline-6 engine producing 425 horsepower at 5,500 RPM and 406 pound-feet of torque at 1850 RPM. So your 0 to 60 time comes in right around 4.1 seconds too. And you see you have this carbon fiber strut brace right here. And you do have 2 latches for the hood. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the interior, but not before showing off the Smart Key entry system. So on the door handle you have this little pattern right here where you can use these buttons right here to unlock the car without using your remote. Just make sure it's on you. So to lock the car, all you need to do is press the portion there, and to unlock, all you need to do is put your hand behind the handle and it'll open for you. So you do have a black interior, and you have a Harman Kardon surround sound system. You have 2 speakers in the door. And you have really good looking stitching on the door as well. You have some nice padding. You also have your window shade as well as your window lock. You have your window controls here and your mirror as well. And these windows are nicely tinted too, so you can kind of see there. So right here we have our automatic light controls and your gauge dimmer. You also do have a storage pocket. Down here you have your pedals, your hood release and your trunk release. Over here you have your powered seats, and you can adjust your side bolsters too. You also have four-way lumbar. And just take a look at these seats. Awesome. And you can see that the M logo is backlit too, which is a really cool touch. Alright, so let's go ahead and get in and check out the interior. It is a little bit dark in here, I do apologize for that, but let's go ahead and get started here on the M steering wheel here. So here on this side you have your cruise control, and you also do have your M1 and M2 settings here. We will get into that a little bit later, but it is a memory function. So over here you have your paddle shifters on that side too. You have your M logo on the bottom of the steering wheel. You also have all your sort of media controls up here, your voice commands, your plus and minus for the volume, and your Bluetooth. You also have a mode ring right there. So let's go ahead and power it on. Not going to start it in here, just turn on all the lights so we can kind of see a little better. So here we have our gauges. We have our fuel gauge, also have our speedometer, then we have little information gauges up at the bottom there. And then we also have the rev counter and the engine temperature. Also behind the steering wheel we have our turn signals and our high beams, as well as our wiper controls. Just look at the attention to detail on this car. There's stitching on the steering wheel. So up here is our media screen here. It is the iDrive, and you control it via the little rotary knob here. And you can write things on here, and it's a really cool system. It's really easy to get used to. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the functions. So your multimedia screen, and these are also different submenus, so if I go ahead and select this, it'll bring up another menu. To go back, you just tilt it to the left. Radio screen. You have your telephone screen. Do you have Bluetooth once you hook up a phone? Navigation. Let's look at your map. And it's also a really nice wide screen display here. I'll zoom in a little bit for you. And it shows you where your dealerships are, where your Shell stations are, which is pretty cool. And you can kind of zoom out like that. So pretty cool. So your contacts, you have connected drive, you also have your vehicle information. You have sport displays, which will display your horsepower and torque. Really cool feature there. You also have your vehicle status, all kinds of stuff that's really cool and useful too. And you also have your settings where you can go ahead and look at various information like that. And this does have a heads-up display, which is pretty cool. So that's pretty much it for the basic functions of the iDrive. And so down here we have a couple of air vents, and then you also have your four-way flashers, as well as your lock unlock. Down here's your radio and your climate control. So you have 8 presets here. You have your mode, your volume knob, and you also have a CD player. And you have your 3-stage heated seats for the driver and the passenger. You also have your front and rear defrost, and you have your knobs for your dual zone climate control. You also have your different zones here and your fan speed. So coming down here, you have a couple of cup holders, and you have all your different drive modes here, so you can really custom tailor your different drive modes here. So you have your traction control off, you have your engine mode, your suspension mode, and your steering mode, and all of that corresponds to this M1 and M2 buttons like you saw earlier. So you can kind of set what you want over here and then set it to up here. So if you want to, let's say you want to race around Lime Rock, you just press M1 and that will remember all the settings that you put over here, which is a really cool feature. You also have your parking sensors, and then you have your gear selector. It is an electronic gear selector for your 7-speed dual clutch transmission. So over here we have some really cool carbon fiber. Again, your rotary knob and your different shortcuts there. You also have a manual parking brake, and then you have your center console storage there. So coming up here, you have your rear view mirror with a compass, and you have your 3 garage home links there. Also up here, you have some illumination. You also have a big light and a couple of small ones too. And you also have your SOS and airbag off. So up here, it's kind of dark. You might not be able to see it, but you have a black headliner. Up here, you have a visor with illumination. And I really like the way the 3 Series is designed. You kind of have the leather portion of the dash coming over the carbon fiber, which makes it look really cool. And you have this gloss accents coming down the bottom of the carbon fiber. So now let's go ahead and check out the rear passenger space.
I could check on the sheet there. Probably with some.
So on the back door, we see you have the metal handle like in the front. You have some nice padding and stitching, as well as your window control. You also have 2 speakers, and you do have a window shade here and here, which is part of the executive package that this is equipped with. So let's go ahead and climb in and see how much room we have here. So as soon as you get back here, you just kind of sink into the seat, which is really cool. And it's nicely bolstered to make it feel like you have a bucket seat back here. So I do have quite a bit of room back here, which is really cool. And just look at these seats, even from behind, they have a great look to them. So back here you have a couple of air vents, which is a big plus for me at least. And you also have heated seats back here too, and a power outlet / cigarette lighter. You also have illumination back here towards the bottom and up top. There's really no lacking of detail, of course, with BMW. So now let's go ahead and check out the passenger quarters. So the passenger door is much like the driver's, just has a few less buttons. You have a really good amount of storage too. And you do have power seats too over here. So let's go ahead and check out the glove box. It is illuminated and you have a really good amount of space. It goes in nice and deep. You have all your manuals and books in there. I really do like that backlit M logo there. So next, let's go ahead and check out the trunk. So here's the key for the M3. You have your unlock, lock, and trunk release, as well as your panic alarm. So we can go ahead and pop the trunk using the button on the key fob. And it opens up all the way for us. So you have your wheel locks back here, all kinds of cool stuff. You even have your original kidney grills there, with the chrome instead of the, it's completely blacked out. So you have good space back here. And you can also fold the rear seats with these levers here. So you have a 15.8 gallon fuel tank, and your gas mileage for the double clutch transmission comes in at 17 city, 24 highway. So to end, thank you guys very much for watching, and make sure you stay tuned for the next reviews.